ABC that has pulled late-night show host Jimmy Kimmel off air indefinitely over comments that he made about the shooting of the right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk. The network, which Disney owns, announced on Wednesday, just when he was going in to record his Wednesday night show, is when they decided to pull the plug. And this is why, because on the orders of Donald Trump, for the comments that he made about the shooting of Charlie Kirk, saying that those comments were offensive, and that is why this decision was taken. So it is, of course, Donald Trump later called the move great news for America and congratulated ABC for its courage. In fact, are urging NBC to do the same as well.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
We were just about to walk in. Interestingly enough, they waited to pull the plug on this right as the studio audience was about to walk in. It wasn't like this morning or last night. They waited for everyone to come into work today, They didn't tell us what had happened. They just said that the show was canceled. Initially, my concern was, I hope everyone's okay, no one got injured.
Priyanka is joining us from the United States to get us the latest on this. We've seen Donald Trump do this in the past as well, targeting these people. It's comedy, it's a show, it needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. Take us through the details of the comments that were made that they have found so offensive.
Well, by and large, I'm not going to get into exactly what Kimmel said. That's all over social media right now. But his basic crux was that conservative voices and conservative figures are using Charlie Kirk's assassination for political gain. That's primarily what he was the root of his joke, I guess you can say. But at its core, this is about free speech and how fragile it can be when corporate and regulatory pressures combine. So it wasn't exactly Donald Trump. It was the FCC. That's the Federal Communications Commission in the U.S., which is the independent government agency that regulates radio, TV, satellite, cable communications. They issue broadcast licenses, manage the airways, and enforce rules about things like indecency or obscenity. But let's be clear, the FCC doesn't by law control political commentary or satire. But FCC Chair Brendan Carr, he's an appointee of Trump, by the way, publicly criticized Kimmel, calling his remarks truly sick and implying broadcasters could face consequences. So no law was broken by Kimmel, but the statement alone pressures networks to act preemptively. And as a result, ABC, Disney, and Nexstar affiliates pulled the show, citing political or potential offense. Now, that's corporate overreach at its finest, but rather than defend free expression, as you just said, these companies silenced Kimmel's voice to avoid criticism. But let's just take a look at the other side of the coin. Now, there's a larger trend at play over here, and that is that late night talk shows are supposed to be about comedy, right? Sketches, humor, and entertainment, as you also just said. That's a tradition, but today and over the past few years, many have shifted to overtly political and, let's face it, left-leaning commentary. There are some right-leaning shows as well, but bottom line, political humor. The show has become a platform for partisanship rather than laughs. So the takeaway here is that it's not really about Democrats, Republicans, or any party directly censoring speech over here. It's about the entertainment ecosystem and what it's turned into. Comedy is honestly supposed to be about laughter, and now it's increasingly about politics. That's a problem for free speech and balanced discourse. Kimmel is just one example of what can happen. And at this rate, I feel that he won't be the only one to get suspended, whether the show is left-leaning or right-leaning, because unfortunately, all of them are leaning one way or the other these days.
Right. Priyanka joining us from Chicago. Thank you so much for getting us